Alright then, welcome back to another video. Last video we kind of broke down the squad and see which positions in the United squad that we kind of need to kind of fix under Amorim, and that's what we're going to get into today. Players that we can get in on transfer and fill these holes. So this is what we saw in the last episode. We saw left wing back, left centre back. We're not quite sure if we got the quality there. Obviously that centre back kind of work across the whole back line, so we're going to look at the depth in there, but also going to look at that depth in midfield. We've got Mainu and Garty. We can say we can play there. Mainu 10 years, Garty a few years, but Casemiro and Ericsson likely not going to be here next season. So we kind of got to get a bit of depth in there. We're going to look at some players that I think can play in them roles. So here is the United squad of players that I think we'll probably field out. We've got Onair in goal, De Ligt and Euro. I think we can kind of say they're long term. They suit that position. In regard to, even though I think they suit that position, we're looking for depth in there and quality depth as well. Mazraoui, I think Dalot can play in that wing-back role. Fernandes, Ahmad. You also got Mount, Rashford, Garnacho. We've got a plethora of attack midfielders options. Striker, Højlund, Xerxes, Rashford. We can cover there. But I think left back, left wing back, centre defensive midfielder more. I think we need cover there and we need quality there as well. So we're going to start off with left centre back. We're going to have 3 options for each position. First option I have is Jared Branthwaite. He's been linked, we put bids in for him. Like, we want him. Like we saw in last episode, these centre-backs are asked to cover this whole space on this centre. They've got to be quick. That's why Martinez is a bit iffy in this position. They've got to be quick. They've got to cover this whole space. They may not have to be the best defender in the world, but they just got to cover this space. Is Martinez that? I don't think so. Can Branthwaite be that? I think he can be. He's so quick. He can play off both feet as well. He can play at the back. He's 6'5". He's physically strong. I think he can play his role really well. Next player, we got Luke Haber. I think he's only 21 years old. Like, what we're looking for in these players are the profile Ineos are looking for. We're not looking for 28, 29-year-old players in their prime that may not have years to grow. We want players that can grow with this squad. What we saw in the summer is De Ligt, Ugarte, Mazraoui, Xerxes, between 23 and 25, 26 years old. Euro obviously 18. But we're not looking for players above that. We're looking for players who can build with this squad, who have 5-6 years ahead of them. Luke Haber is one of them. He's left-footed, suits that side. He's got the pace to cover the channels. He's got good ball-playing ability, strong in the air. I think he'll be a really, really good signing for this. Physically strong as well. I think if we get him, I think he'll be good. Like Branthwaite, he'll be really, really good. And this last option is just a hope. Bastoni. He plays in the back 3 under Inzaghi, and he's so good at it. He can create chances from that position, even though Amorim's not really that kind of manager. Wants centre back to go forward, but his ball playing ability is amazing. He's got the pace to recover. He can defend wide areas. He's physically strong in the air. I think he's really, really, really good. Now, do I think we can get him? No. We're going to have to pay 60, 70, 80 million for him. He's that good. But he suits a back 3, which is really, really good. Now, the most realistic option here is Branthwaite. The club like him. Bid for him before. We might go back in for him in January. He hasn't been playing this much up season for Everton in financial trouble, so we could get him at a good price. I think could fit this role. Now left wing back, or left winger sometimes, but what in this role we don't need to be a defensive first wing back, full back. We can have a winger that just has good work rate. That's kind of what Amorim kind of wants. Good player, good ball player, but just has the energy to get back and forward and up the pitch. Good in tight spaces, can cross the ball as well. First option I have is Ryan Norrie. What we've seen with under Ineos, for what's come out in, they kind of said is they kind of want to get Premier League proven players because, well, we know they can do it in this league. We don't want to get someone, what we've seen with Joshua Xerxes, do we know he works in this league? So we might want to get someone Premier League proven that we know. Ryan Norrie, he does really well for Wolves. He's Wolves' best player, I think. He can dribble, he can pass, he can score goals. Defensively, he's not that great, but he got a back 3 behind him to do that. But I think he's really, really good, especially dribbling. He can work really well in them tight spaces. I think he's really, really good. But obviously, if Wolves go down, maybe that could be something playing into it as well. Next option is Leif Davis. Bit of a different player to Ait-Nouri. Ait-Nouri is a bit more of a dribbler to create chances. Leif Davis is a passer, chance created with a cross. His crossing is exceptional. He's really, really, really good at that. He can pick out a cross from anywhere. He'll work hard down this left-hand side. He kind of plays his role for Ipswich anyway. They kind of play with like a back three, kind of. They obviously play back four out of possession, but in possession, Twansby goes into his right centre-back role, and Leif Davis just goes up here. He always has done. So he kind of knows this kind of role already. But he's a player that if we want to get someone on one side that just can cross the ball, that's Leif Davis. Sit inside, hold the width, get the ball, cross the ball. He's got good ball striking as well, picks up the goals, but his assists last season were really good. He's up the top in the Premier League for chances created this season for Ipswich, which is really, really good. And obviously he can score goals. We saw his goal already this season. Who was against? I can't remember who it was against, but we saw his goal against Southampton last season. He's picked up so many goals. There's a late goal against Bristol City last season. He's a really good player. And obviously, again, maybe he just signed new contracts and maybe a bit high price, but if it should go down, there's a player you can get. Like Bastoni, I've got one option that I think it'll be perfect, but I don't think we'll get. Alphonso Davies on a free this summer. If we go to Bayern Munich in January, maybe we'll put in cheeky 30, 40 million. Can we get him then? But obviously, he's going to go Real Madrid, isn't he? Like, he's going to, like, any player is lured by Real Madrid, but he's always played as a left back. He's never really played as a left wing back. I think that could suit him really well. He's got energy to get back. He's not relied on to be defensive. Like he can just funnel the players into an area rather than going for the tackle. And obviously, he's super quick, agile, great dribbler over the ball. Can pick out a pass sometimes as well. Can take a shot on. I think he's really, really, really good. And if you keep him alone on this left-hand side and don't have him as don't pick him up, he's going to burst into space with or without the ball. He's so good at that. His physicality is frightening. But obviously, I don't think we'll get him. The most realistic choice, I think, here is Ryan Ait-Nouri. I think his price tag, the fact Wolves aren't the greatest financially club, they might go down. Premier League proven. He's developed as well. It's not like he's come from other leagues. This is his first year. He's come to Premier League, not done so well, picked up things here and there, and actually developed at Wolves, which is a hard club. Not many players develop really, really well there the last few years, but he's stuck out among others. But I think he'll work well in there. If we do get him, works well in tight spaces, holds the width well. He does like to roam a bit. What I've noticed, he does roam into these kind of areas sometimes, end up on the right wing from left back. But I think it'll be good. Like what we're getting is Premier League proven players. We know they can do it in the Premier League. Can they do it with a bit better squad? Hopefully. And now going into midfield, what we see in midfield is he likes a ball player, which is Kobe Mainoo. He likes a ball winner with Ugarte. This is really, really good. But obviously, for a team challenging for hopefully titles one day, you need a squad. That's why we kind of need to get strength in depth midfield. Casemiro and Eriksen, their legs are gone. Mount, Fernandes, do they have the ability to play there? Probably not. They haven't maybe got the midfield now to play in then deep positions. So, who are players that we think can go in there? Maybe someone like Ederson from Atalanta. He can kind of play both roles. If he's the ball winger, he can sit back. If he's the attacking player, he can pick out a finish sometimes, pick out a pass. He's got high energy, high work rate, got good physicality, he's quite strong, quite tall as well. He's not the tallest, but he's good size. I think he'd work well as just an all-round midfielder in one of these roles. And obviously he's not too expensive coming from Atalanta. You know, it'll probably be £50 million. He's not £80, £90 million, but Atalanta, if they keep doing well this season, get the Champions League, he might be a bit more expensive. Next one, Angelo Stiller. Bit of a rogue shout from Stuttgart. Was instrumental in them coming second last season. Plays in this deeper role, kind of in like they kind of change in possession, out possession, but he kind of plays in this deeper midfield role, kind of more as a playmaker. This is a player that can back up and play Kobe Mainoo. Maybe sometimes even going into these positions here, but he plays in this role here, keeps the ball ticking, doesn't lose the ball too often, creates chances, keeps the ball moving, finds players well, but also can do well defensively. Decent positioning, can be physical at times. Obviously not Agate levels or Prime Kante, but he can get the job done if you want him to. So I think he'll be good in there. And I think also with his age, he is like Ederson, room to grow. These are what we're putting, room to grow players. And last, Ezekiel Palacios. I think he'll be really, really good as well. He can do everything. He's got a great pass in him. He's got really good defensive numbers as well. I think he can work in tight spaces. He's got energy. Not the tallest. That might be a problem. Like, we do want taller players. We are quite a small team in some areas, but we want physically good players, and he's physically good, just not tall, but can pick up pockets really, really well. We've linked to him before as well, but I think he can play both roles. If he's the ball winner, he's fine sitting back and just playing his role, but if he's a playmaker, he likes to get forward sometimes as well. So I think he's kind of good for both roles as well. That's kind of what we want. A bit of versatility in there. That's why I think out of the three, I think he's probably the better player to we probably get, because I don't think he's the most expensive player. We kind of linked from about 30-40 million pounds last summer, maybe 50 million pounds. So they're kind of all going to be around that same price. And I think for his quality, that's a really good price. So we're going to put Palacios in there. They're the three signings I think we could potentially get. I haven't gone super extravagant because I don't think we're kind of like that. We haven't got the financial capability, I don't think, to do that. But I think what we need to do is get players in that can grow with this 11. I think Palacios, Branthwaite, ignore it, even the other players I mentioned, Bastoni, Lukeba, Angela Stiller, Ederson, Leif Davies. I think they're also really good options. That's why we've said them. But I think these three players, I think they straight away improve us. Palacios, he's great on the ball compared to Ugarte, who's not that great. He keeps it safe as well. He doesn't, boot balls around like Casemiro. Branthwaite, great defender the channels. Nora, really good dribbler. Really, really good. And proven the Premier League like Branthwaite and Palacios obviously done it in Bundesliga, helping Bayern Leverkusen win the league, win the cup last season. I think these are only a couple of players. Obviously, probably will change, but I want to be players that we've kind of been linked to as well. We've been linked to all of these players in the past. And I just want to be more realistic with it rather than just go, we're going to get, for the attacking field, we're going to get Kvaratskhelia. It's not going to happen, is it? For the midfield spot, Pedri, he'll be perfect, but we're not going to get him. So I want to make realistic signings that I think Ineos will probably make. But yeah, let me know what you think of the signings. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.